You asked for them, and you're gonna get one today. Yep, you asked for those rabbit hole stories. You all enjoyed them so much. And Moosey and I spent some time sitting down and writing them. We asked some of the kids. Oh boy, did we come up with some good rabbit hole stories from back in the day. The other thing that I did was last night I made another one of my semi-homemade dinners, and very healthy, by the way, girls. So if you think maybe you might like to come along with me today and help me get some jobs done and hear a great rabbit hole story, why don't you just hang around and join us for a while? So that's going to be our dinner for tonight. I'm calling these half homemade. I've just broken up my fresh asparagus. I have a bunch of these tiny little peppers already cut up. Gonna add a little olive oil. Gosh, I haven't tried Gravy Master in a long time. I have this little bottle. I think I'll make a little gravy with that. These are looking good. They're already cooked and they're already flavored, by the way. I've put a little Gravy Master in with a teeny bit of water, and I'm going to let them sit in here now until the asparagus is ready. It's ready to go. And over here, my mash is ready. My semi-homemade, and those potatoes, I wish you could taste them. Moosey is outside with Brian doing some walking and some physical therapy. And it's a crazy day today, no sun. So it's a good thing because it's going to keep me inside to get the jobs done that I have to do today. I'm still in my PJs, put a little makeup on and some stuff on my hands to make them look nice and smooth. But the problem is, I don't know what to do with my hair today. I still have bedhead and I don't know, maybe I'll just leave it this way. So we're going in the bedroom anyway. Oh, we're also packing today. I've started to pull out a lot of Moosey's things because the first suitcase is going up with our son Billy tonight after we have dinner with him. He's driving back in 2 days, I believe. So he's taking one big suitcase, and what I'm doing is you're going to come in the bedroom with me and you're going to help me pack Moosey's stuff. He already has picked out what he wants to take. Packed. We figure if we take 4 or 5 of something, at least we can wear it 2 or 3 times each. And that includes everything. Of course, she has wash machines and dryers. So last time we were up there, I did quite a bit of washing so that I didn't have to pack too much. But we don't know what the weather's going to be like up there yet. And it could be coolish. I'm going to go back. I did about 7 videos 3 years ago when we were up there, almost 3 years ago. And I'm going to see the kinds of clothes we wore. I know when we went fishing in the pond in the back of their home, they have a fishing pond with bass and everything in there. Caught my first fish. And I did have a jacket and a fishing vest on, and most of the time we had some form of jacket on because it was a little bit rainy, dewy sometimes. Other times it was nice. It wasn't real hot. So I think we know what we have to bring with us. So I will show you some of the things I've put in. This is what where we put our pills and how we organize them. And if I had to bring all the bottles, it would be too much. So I hope they're going to go for this. Here's the VA list of all the medications that Bill takes. So I think we'll be fine. So one of the warm things that I packed for Moosey is a nice fisherman's sweater. He always loves this. It has a cowl neck and some buttons in the front, and it's nice and warm. I also packed 3 or 4 of his normal everyday soft pants, some shirts. The one that he loves, which I'm going to show you, we did get this the last time up there, and I did buy it in, I'll show you this shirt, wishing I was fishing in Koosky, Idaho. So he wants to take that up. He, of course, wants to take his Oregon jacket up. So I have some of these cute shirts for him to wear, all long sleeve. He prefers the long sleeve. Got some new undies. I have a bunch of those. And of course the socks. What else have I packed for him? Oh, his vest. I have a vest for him in here, and it's very lightweight, a puffer vest, and that's a good thing to wear. He's going to give me his DOP kit with all his toiletries in it, and I'm going to put that in here. I hope that goes along with the airline rules. And then the next suitcase that I will pack and we'll bring it with us will be most of my stuff. And I'll probably do that in a week or more because I do have these other jobs I have to get finished. Thank you for helping me. I'll give this to Billy when we see him today. So,
now are you all ready for the rabbit hole story? Here we go.
The one that seemed to draw the most interest in the teas was my bunny rabbit slippers that ran out of the room in the middle of the night. One of the slippers, not both of them. Now, if you all remember, do you remember the days? And I have a pair on, but these are not the animal slippers. Remember when animal slippers were all the rage? We had bunny rabbits and elephants and tigers. And I remember one Christmas when all the kids were home, everybody got a pair of animal slippers for Christmas. They were cozy, they were cute, and the little kids had squirrels and all kinds of little slippers. Our home at this time was in the semi-country. It was in a town in Orange County that we had moved to in 1972 from San Francisco. And it was a couple years after we returned home from Scotland. So we had all of the kids. Mikey and Colleen probably were young guys, maybe 6, 7, 8 years old. We had 4 teenagers and they were coming and going in the house all the time. Some had keys and then they would lose them. So after a while, we didn't have any keys to the house and we never really locked it. And the house was on some land and we had horses and ponies and rabbits and you name it, the animals were there. One hot summer, a very hot summer that year, this one particular night, Moosey and I went to sleep. And I wasn't sleeping well, whether it was the heat or what, but I did eventually fall asleep. I always ran around the house in the daytime in my bunny rabbit slippers. They were always on. You know how it is when you're at home. You don't wear shoes in the house. So as always, when I stepped into bed that night, I would just step out of my little slippers and I would put them right next to the bed and hop in. And our bedroom was quite large. We had added it on shortly after we moved there because we were expecting our 5th child and then eventually the 6th. And it was a nice big room and our bed was up against the back wall. And as we sat, we had a television on the far wall. There was quite a bit of room left in the bedroom. And then a doorway into Moosey's study. And then from there, a doorway out into the front hall. So that was kind of the setup of our end of the house. Then we had children at the other end of the house, a little bit upstairs, a little bit downstairs, and I think Mikey and Colleen might have still been in a room in the back. So I fell asleep, and I'm sure it was a restless night. And somewhere, I would say it was maybe 4 in the morning, it was not quite dawn, but it was getting to be that time. I kind of started waking. I don't know whether a noise woke me up or what, but I woke up and I sat up in bed. Don't know what made me do that. And as I sat up, I saw my slipper just run out across the wide area of the bedroom, out of the room, through the study, and then out into the front hall. Now, I couldn't see the front hall from where we were. And I said to Bill, still half asleep, "Moose, my bunny rabbit slipper just ran out of the bedroom." And he turned over and he said, "Go to sleep. You're dreaming. I said, no, I'm awake. Go to sleep," he said. So I put my head back down on the pillow, thinking maybe it was a dream. and eventually I drifted off to sleep. Well, the next night, got into bed, still a hot night, went to sleep after I put my little bunny rabbit slippers next to the bed. Something woke me up close to dawn once again. It wasn't quite light out yet. Sat up, and guess what? That bunny rabbit slipper still ran right out of the room. I said, Moose, come on now. This is 2 nights in a row this bunny rabbit slip has run out of the house. He said, you can't keep doing this. I got to go to work in the morning. I didn't know what to think, but I was beginning to think I was not dreaming. Well, the next day, I did tell the kids that my bunny rabbit slipper or something ran out of the house. And I said, the idea of it happening 2 nights in a row is strange. I can see one night, one dream maybe, but 2 nights? So we all kind of got our heads together. And that night when Moose came home, we started to talk about my dreams of a bunny rabbit slipper running out, which we knew that wasn't about to happen. Because, by the way, when I woke up in the morning, guess what was sitting right next to my bed? 2 bunny rabbit slippers. So we talked about it at dinner. And the kids said, Mom, do you think maybe there's an animal of some kind that is in your bedroom, living in your bedroom and kind of goes out? Well, I said, now that you say that, when I did get up in the morning and walked out through the front hall, I did notice that the front door was open quite a bit. And I said, I know that when you kids come in and out of the house at night, if you've been out or whatever, or sometimes how the dogs push the doors open, I know that happens, and so I don't worry about it. But, that's a thought. Well, nothing happened the next night, nor the night after. And I thought to myself, maybe that is true. Now, on the 4th or 5th night, it happened again. And there must have been some sort of a sound that woke me each time so that I would actually see this bunny rabbit slipper running out of my bedroom. Well, I got up in a little while because I was beginning to become a little fearful. I didn't know what in heaven's name this was. Sure enough, the front door was still open. Well, that was par for the course. So that morning, Bill said to me as he went off to work, I think it's time you called the local animal control and talk to them about it, and maybe they'll figure something out. So I did. I called it was a local animal control within our town, and I told him what had happened. He said, I think I better come out to your house and look around. Well, the next day he did. Meanwhile, that night, nothing, but we were a little careful now about leaving the doors closed. And he discussed that. He said, is your door open at night? And I said, well, sometimes, yes, we do have outdoor dogs, large ones. Sometimes they'll push the door open, or sometimes the kids leave it open, and kind of hard to keep track of things going on with that many kids in the house. And he said, I have a feeling I think I know what is happening. Well, he didn't tell me, but he came out and he walked all around the property. He walked out by the barn looking. And of course, we did have rabbits around. We had gardens as well. And, the normal amount of wild animals, squirrels, whatever. We did have coyotes that would come because we used to hear them all the time. But that was the area. It was a wonderful town. It was a town called La Habra Heights in North Orange County. And it was minimum acre zoned. And for years, most people had the horses, and the children all showed them up. Mostly saying this part is a bunny hole, so I'll get more back to it. Well, anyway, he sat me down in the kitchen that morning after he walked out, and he said, "Ma'am, I hate to tell you this, but," he said, "under your barn, I saw a rather large hole, and when I investigated, you have a family of animals." And I said, "Whoa, wow." He said, "Yeah, it looks like there might be a couple of youngins and a mom and a dad." He said, what did this animal look like that you thought you saw running out of your bedroom?" I said, "Well, I didn't think I saw it. I did see it." And I said, "Well, I called it my bunny rabbit slippers, mainly because it was black and white and sort of looked like looked like my slippers." He said, "Yep, that's what I thought." He said, "Did you notice how it ran out of the room?" I said, "Yeah, it sort of didn't run straight ahead. It sort of wiggled back and forth as it ran and went out of the house." He said, "I know what you have in your house, living in your house." And he visits. He goes in and out when the door is open in the daytime, goes in. This is a nocturnal animal, lives in your house somewhere in your bedroom all day, all night, gets up and goes out in the night. And they usually go out before dawn. And I said, "They?" He said, "Yep." Now, ladies, can you guess what the animal was? Or animals? Yep, you're right. Skunks. Yes. Well, now it was scary. And I thought, where is this animal sleeping all day long in my house? Well, I have to tell you, we did have a very large walk-in closet along one whole end to my side of the room. It had a window in it and everything. Big, big closet. And this man said we had to tread very lightly. He said, "If I were you, I would stay," because he looked all around our bedroom. He didn't find anything. But when he went into the bedroom, there were a lot of dark nooks and crannies and, shoe racks on the floor, and it was dark down one end and whatever. He said, "I think that this animal comes into your house sometime in the daytime or early morning, goes in, makes himself at home in your closet, spends the whole day and part of the night, and then wakes up. And if that door's open, he goes right out." Well, I said to him, "Well, what do we do? Do we leave the door open? Do we close it? What?" He said, "I think it's a good idea that you leave the door open." He said, "Now, you don't want to go looking around in your closet because you run the risk of scaring that skunk. And you know what happens when you scare a skunk." I said, "Oh, gee, not in my closet, please." Well, what he did was he live trapped outside in the morning. He set traps out by the barn. And little by little, he caught 4 skunks, which he took away and then released way up in the wilds, hopefully far away from our home. How we knew we did have to leave the door open until he caught what he thought was the whole family. And it was left open a little bit because we didn't know whether the skunk was in the house and he had to get out. Now, he always would go out at some point. We knew that. So we managed to escape that family. However many decided they were going to come in and out of the house and just enjoy themselves, no end. They would come in to take their daytime snooze, and obviously were somewhere down in the back of that closet. And as you can imagine, I did not step into that closet that whole week. It took them most of the week to catch all these skunks. And every night I watched, nothing came after a while. And that was the end of my bunny rabbit running out of my room. Now, I know it's impossible to believe that that skunk never did, what do you call it when he puts off his scent?
Right.
What? Spray. He never once sprayed. The closet never smelled of skunk, nor did the bedroom. We were so lucky on that one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that story. Kind of hard to believe, but it happened to our family. And by the way, we tried to keep our doors pretty well closed from there on in, but you know what? I don't think it ever really lasted. Now, I did take some reels over the weekend. Matthew and Cindy came up and they brought that surprise for Moose that I was talking about. Well, actually, it wasn't a big surprise because he knew about it, but he hadn't seen it. And they stayed for a while. We had lunch outside with them, and Matthew put up a new shower head for us. You know, they're always doing something for us, Cindy and Matthew. So I did that. What else did I do? Oh, Moosey also got his hair cut, Teeny. I know you were worried about that, and he looks great. So he's all set for our trip up to Idaho. Now I just have to do a little bit with me and maybe have a me day, but I still have 2 weeks before we go. So I have plenty of time for me. I'm trying to get his clothes packed and get him in shape, and then all I have to do is worry about me. It's been a while, but you had some nice waves and curls for a while.
I kind of like it short. When I was in the Army, I would tell the barber, just long enough to part. That was pretty darn short. Why is it that all my haircuts go on the B-tube?
B-roll. We call you B-roll. I'll turn it on again later and you can see the final cut. Well, what do you think, ladies? Turn sideways. Handsome again.
This is my good side.
Cut it exceptionally short so that by the time we go to Idaho, it'll be nice and curly the way I like it.
You're the Joy Boys of radio. Hello, 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 hello.
Well, here comes Moosey's surprise.
Oh, brother.
Look at this. You have wheels, Moose.
New wheels.
Woohoo. Look at those wheelies he can do.
It's light.
And the beauty of this, tell us, Cindy, how
So
I like
total weight's 19 pounds, and if you take the wheels off, it's 13 pounds.
well, I can lift that in and out of the trunk easily.
Oh yeah.
It's the same as a 20-pound bag of cat food.
And here's
Wow.
your anti-tippers. So, for example, if you would go backwards,
Yeah.
it stops you.
And a beautiful 4-inch cushion there.
Good for your tushy.
Can I get in it?
Yes, definitely. Let's move these out.
Okay, Moosey is
And we're
about
gonna
to
go.
get in his new wheels.
Oh,
Do what?
hop up and then I'll turn it.
This is good.
Funnily enough, just 5 years ago, you were getting your little car,
Onto the
new
brake
wheels.
zone.
I got it.
Okay.
Oh, you
How's
look
it
good.
feel?
You look good.
It feels light.
No
So move those in. See
no
if you can
coffee.
move those in yourself and lock it in from the.
The locks or the...
Gonna do a wheelie?
Really?
A wheelie. Woohoo! The idea is that he operates this with his hands and wheels.
So you probably don't want the feet rest on.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, wait.
I don't think you... Do you want them on?
Oh, I don't
normally?
know. No.
How do these work?
Just push them down.
Oh, they're tight.
So once you...
Here's the test. This is lightweight. I feel it. I can lift the whole thing up this way.
19 pounds.
It's probably easier if I lift it this way. Look at that. Woohoo!
Jeez.
Now let's see.
What do you think, Moose?
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Now if I lifted it this way, it's probably the easiest way for me to put it in.
Use your body.
Wow.
Get under it. Yep.
Oh, God, you scared me.
What you
There
think?
we go.
Good job, Mama.
Hey! Hello!
Everybody's celebrating.
That's pretty good.
All right.
And then taking it out.
Careful. Don't not by the wheels because those are going to turn,
no.
right?
Down. and then
Wow.
down.
Easy peasy.
Wow.
Let's show them how the wheels come off if you need to.
And it's 13 pounds with 2 wheels off. Look at this, Moose.
And then make sure
And
it
it's
clicks.
done. I just came in from outside. I wanted to go out and talk to Brian before he left. And it looks like we're going to be able to, after we come back from Idaho, we can start up again and Moosey will continue more. So I was afraid that he would drop him. But he's coming back after we get back from Ohio. So we'll still, not Ohio, after we get back from Idaho. So we'll still be able to continue with the therapy. Well, I want to thank you for hanging out with me today and helping me get my chores done. The packing was fun. Moosey picked out enough things. We figured we'll be wearing things a couple of times. We won't be dressing up there. So I did get everything packed, and I did pack 3 weeks of Moosey's pills in there. And you know what I did? I found the list of one of his last visits to the VA. And they had listed all his medications. So I'm going to throw that into just in case they have any questions about the medicine. And and there's a lot of it. So it's in those cases. And I think I showed you that in when we were packing. But it's kind of exciting. It's still only 2 weeks away. But we just talked to Billy a little while ago, and he's going to come over and we're going to go out to Red Lobster for supper. And I think it's one of the gift certificates that we got from Christmas, that we got at Christmas time from one of the kids. They know Red Lobster is one of our favorite places to go and eat. So we did get a couple of those gift certificates. So one of them might even been from him. So, but Bonnie didn't come with him this time. He drove down alone. And Bonnie's home. She's amazing. She's been tiling bathrooms. They redid all their bathrooms. And she can do anything. So I won't see her this time. But I did want to thank you so much for all your comments and telling me what you enjoy. And the fact that we're getting quite a few new subscribers too. So those of you who feel you want to get to know us a little better, why don't you just go back and binge? And so many of the questions from the new people, I've already answered in videos, the series of, I think there were 7 parts of our life, starting when we first got married. No, when I was a little girl. We did 7 different videos all about the various stages of our life when we moved to Scotland and even our younger years. And I don't know, I'm sure that all the answers to all the questions that you might be asking about us or where we're from or whatever are in some of those back videos. So thank you for enjoying them all. And thank you all for just being here and loving us. So the next video, I might still be packing for me, but I've got to get some of this stuff done here and here. And got to stay out of the garden or I'll spend too much of my time out there. I love you all. Bye for now, and God bless us all.